Hey guys, this is Alien Sama with a request. I was requested from YouTuber CreationZilla to do a comparison between some of the Godzilla NECA figures, some of the Revoltech Evangelion, and some of the NECA Pacific Rim figures. They do stop animation, from what I've seen, or the little quick glance I got of their profile. So they're hoping, at least from what I heard, to get a height adjustment or height variation between each of these figures to see if they're good for their stop animation. From what I can tell, they want to be as realistic or as not insanely off in height difference as possible. So, I guess we'll start off with the three Godzillas we have here. They're mostly all the same height. There's not much difference. I think in my opinion, the Evas are going to be a little too tall, but I can't quite remember their height exactly. They're only the size of a building, and depending on which Godzilla you're talking about, Godzilla varies from ginormous to pretty small. So here's our classic Godzilla. He's standing as high as he can. That's his legs bent out all the way. So we're going to lower the camera down so we can kind of see over their head view. So this is my camera at plain view, as if we were looking at the monsters from a distance, but high enough that we can see how tall they are compared to each other. So this is classic Godzilla, the oldest version of these, of the three here. And then we have our Fire Godzilla, which he doesn't really stand up very straight either. I'm just adjusting him above you guys here. And then we have him, and that's his height. You might think that this is due to distance, but no, that's the actual height. The heads are lined up right now. And then we have this Godzilla, which is much, much bigger than these two Godzillas in the movie, but the figure itself is much shorter. Why? I'm not sure. I know you can get the new Godzilla in larger figures, but maybe not as posable as the NECA, even though NECA isn't really that posable to begin with. But there are your three Godzillas. Their heads are in line with each other this way, so you can tell the height difference. Obviously, he's the tallest. And then we're going to push these guys a little bit back, and then we're going to start bringing in other figures to compare them to. So we're going to start with our Pacific Rim figure, one of the machines. And I apologize, the only thing I really know about out of all these is Godzilla and Eva. The Pacific Rim creatures and whatnot, I don't really know much about. I just like the way they look. So, here's our first robot. I'm going to take this guy. What do we want to do? I'm going to use the shortest and the tallest of the two Godzillas. So we're going to take him out, put him in. Heads are aligned, just like that. They're aligned. Jeez, rude. And then we're going to put him in the middle. And that's his height compared to these two figures. We'll move on to the Eva units. Actually, no, we're going to move on to the last of my Pacific Rim figures. I thought I had other kaijus. I thought I had Knifehead and all them. Like, I know I purchased them, but maybe I had traded them in to my store, because I did kind of a purge of my collection quite a while ago, because some of my videos, they're recent, but they're recently uploaded, but the actual date of the footage is pretty old because I got backlogged because of work and stuff. So, unfortunately, I don't think I have Knifehead or any of the other guys. The only other kaiju I have from Pacific Rim is this big motherfucker. The badass bat guy. Which, we need to bring these closer. There we go. We'll put it at mid-height. So that's their height comparison to the Bat Kaiju from here to here to here. He's pretty big. And lengthwise, Jesus, lengthwise he's even bigger. This is also NECA. This was an $80 figure. Like, he is huge. He's pretty much 2 Godzillas long, minus their tails. And there's also a flight version of this as well. So there she is, the mama fucking monster. She's big. Compared to Godzilla, I'm not really too sure. I haven't really ever like paid attention to the massive height differences between some of these creatures, because Godzilla seems big, but not really. So that's all for my Pacific Rim, unfortunately. I guess for a reference, most of the Kaiju Pacific Rim monsters are about the same size as this guy, or a little bit shorter because they're hunched over, or hunched over creatures. The next figure we're going to look at, compared to Godzilla, is it SH? I believe it is. It's a SH Monster Mecha Godzilla, which, from how I'm holding him, he's going to be a little midget. Oh no, wow. Okay, so this is your Mecha Godzilla, compared to the other Godzillas. I'll try and get them as close as possible to the head. So there's their heads. He's taller than him, which is great, because I always pictured and always wanted Mecha Godzilla to be the biggest and the baddest. Fucking love this figure. This figure was originally $100, but I got quite a few dollars off it at a local store. I can't remember if I did an unboxing video for him. I think I may have, but then I scrapped it, and unfortunately you guys never got to see it. Or it's just not out, or I haven't found it and it's lost in the abyss of videos I still have to post. So there is Mecha Godzilla, my joy and pride of my Godzilla collection. Actually, no, he is kind of second in command now, compared to the next thing, which is also a SH Figuarts SH. It's made by Bandai, regardless. This one recently got put out. I haven't put the unboxing video for him up yet, so this is a little sneaky peeky woo-woo of the stuff to come on my channel. Oops. He was... How much was he? That's right, you don't even get to know yet. I think he was $100-something. He's pretty expensive, and you'll see his review coming up sometime. But we have King Ghidorah. There you go. Now there you go. That's one of the things in my review video that drove me fucking nuts. Despite how expensive some of these figures are, they are not good at staying together, which is unfortunate. So there's King Ghidorah. As you can see, he's massively taller than the 2 Godzillas, which is good because King Ghidorah is bigger than Godzilla by quite a bit. So there's that guy, and he even comes with this stand, which I'll just briefly show. He comes with this nice stand that swivels. It doesn't rotate, but it does go up and down. It is pretty harsh on its movement, so it might not be that good for your stop animation. There's probably other things you can use. He also comes with lightning beams and fire beams for each of his heads, like in the original movies and whatnot. So that's good, and they each come with a stand. Each of the beams come with a stand. And next, in comparison to Godzilla, we have the Eva units. The first one we have is the mass-produced. This is an older Rebel tech, so they're much chunkier and not as flexible. So I really wish they would start kind of updating some of their older figures. And just a second. So here is mass-produced Eva in comparison to Godzilla. Get in a little closer. And this would be standing on foot. Height, the Evas are naturally hunched over, so they do appear shorter. No, there's no Avas with their head directly on top. Some of the newer Avas can stand fairly upright, like the next one, which is Ava Unit. Ooh, that was my phone. Yeah, which is Ava Unit 8 is next. I have Mary's Ava standing up as straight as possible. But in what circumstance would an Ava be standing up straight as possible? Never! Because they're always shooting, firing, and jumping. But here is Ava Unit Rebel Tech 08. In comparison to the two Godzillas right in the middle, standing up as straight as possible. Let's adjust this a little. There we go. There you go. That is Ava Unit 08 compared to newest Godzilla and semi-older Godzilla. And next we have Ava Unit 02. Standing as straight as possible. The rubber bit right here is a little warped because I have had the unit in such a, sideways pose, so that kind of irks me. But here it is, compared to your lovely Godzillas. For height difference, height. Voila! And then, I believe this is the last one I have. Out of the list that you gave me, I actually don't have some of these things anymore, which makes me sad. But luckily I had all the Ava stuff. The mass-produced Ava that I compared in between the two Godzillas, I can't remember if I put the unboxing video for the older Ava Unit 02 Rebel Tech, but they are the exact same size. Most of these newer Rebel Techs for the Evangelion series are mostly the same size. There's just slight anatomical differences. And as you probably just saw, this is Ava Unit 01. Ava Unit 01. Standing as tall as possible compared to the two Godzillas. Now, for the best part, we are going to align some of these guys as close as possible. And I'll show you the height difference between them all, just so you can have a total scale in general of what you're dealing with. Alright, so here we have them all. I excluded the pink Evangelion 08 because they're the same size as our number 2 over there and number 1 over there. So, here's a comparison of all the figures next to each other. Height differences, we're not going from tallest to highest, but here we go. So, from right to left, Ava Unit 01, King Ghidorah, Classic Godzilla, our Pacific Rim Unit, Mecha Godzilla, Flame Godzilla, the newest Godzilla in the back. Right behind the newest Godzilla, we have our mass-produced. We have our Pacific Rim Kaiju, the Bat Kaiju, and our Ava Unit 01. And we're off frame. Whoa! So this is everyone. I hope this helped you with figuring out who you want to buy or who you might exclude for your videos. There is quite a difference in the height of everything depending on who makes it. It's spot on compared to all the other figures. Like the Alien figures, the Alien Queen NECA figure was made to scale to all of the other NECA Alien figures. But when it comes to Godzilla and monsters and stuff, it's really hard to make to scale figures without them either being really tiny or extremely huge and expensive, which not everyone can afford this stuff. Some of these figures go for $24 each. The Godzilla ones were $24 Canadian, and things like the King Ghidorah went for $100. Ava units go for about $30. Mecha Godzilla was almost $100. Was originally $100. Pacific Rim Bat Buddy right here, big old mama giving birth to babies. She was $80. This is all Canadian again, and just they're expensive. Well, they're not expensive, but it's something you want to commit with collecting. It's not just, hey, I'm going to go ahead and start collecting this shit unless you have a lot of money. I have quite a bit of money, but I wouldn't say I'm rich or anything. I live a good life. But CreationZilla, I really hope this helped you out. I'm sorry that some of the kaiju machines were not in this video, considering they do have not a lot of height difference, but some are shorter and some are taller than that specific one right there. The other Pacific Rim machines, they're either going to be like up to here, or it's going to be the same height, right up to the top of the figure. There won't be a Jurassic? I don't know. There won't be a massive difference in height between all the Pacific Rim figures. Only the monsters will be the massive difference, like we can see right there. That's huge. I'm not sure if it's to scale to these, but there is differences between the monsters. Between the machines, not so much. Godzilla figures, not even close to being accurate to each other, especially the NECA ones. I'm not so sure about the SH Figuarts. I'm not really sure the difference between King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla's height in the actual movies, considering that's a newer version of Mechagodzilla. And this is a classic version of King Ghidorah. I'm not really sure if the height difference is the same or what's happening there. But I hope this did help you out. Thank you so much for watching CreationZilla, and I hope to see you on many more videos, and I hope to see you grow as well. You have quite a few subscribers now. And hopefully this will help you out on your stop animation endeavors. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Hey guys, thank you for joining us in another video. Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and all that stuff is in the description box below. As always, be sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe, and leave a wicked comment. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys. Bye.